For today's craft, you're going to need 1 sheet of colored cardstock and 4 sheets of regular white cardstock. Start by folding all of your pages in half. And repeat the same with your cover. Now go ahead and open your cover and stack all of your white pages inside. Lay your entire stack of pages face down, and along the middle seam we are going to make 4 holes that are going to be used for our binding. Here I used a safety pin to make 4 holes through my pages. It takes a bit of force, but be careful and watch out for your finger. Make sure to go slow and take your time. Repeat this step 3 more times along your spine, and this will give you your holes for your binding. Here I've got a piece of embroidery string twice the length of my arm, wrap the end with a little bit of tape, and I'm just going to snip off the extra tape. This will help make the string sturdy enough to go through the holes of our binding. Since the end is flat, I roll it around in my fingers just to give it a pointed end. Repeat this process on the other end of the string as well. Going 1 page at a time, I'm going to use each end of the string and push it through the 2 middle holes, pulling the strings tight evenly. Repeat this process until all of your inside pages are stacked on top of your cardstock and attached with the strings. Once attached, pull your strings outward to bind your pages together. Repeat the process going from the inside pages to the outside pages on the outside 2 holes with your string. I used my large safety pin in order to widen the holes to make it easier for my string to go through. Start going through the pages one at a time until your string that was on the inside is on the outside of your cover. With that end of the string through your cover, pull tightly to secure your binding. Flip your journal over and repeat the process on the other side. With that done, we're going to lay our journal inside up and pull our strings tight again to secure our binding. Flip your journal cover side up. Now you're going to take the end of your string and go back through those 2 original holes that you went through when you first started your binding. This part can be a bit tricky, so don't be afraid to use your tool to widen that hole that you originally went in through to help your string go through easier. This will bring your string back to the inside of your journal. Repeat the process on the other end. With both of your strings back together on the inside of your journal, tie a double knot to secure your strings. Make sure your binding is nice and tight and snip off any of the excess string. So you've made your journal and now you're not sure what to do. That's okay. I myself wasn't feeling all that creative at the time, and nothing is certainly more intimidating than a blank page. The best thing to do is start making split-second decisions. The first thing that popped in my head was to make a circle, so I started laying down these colored circles on the inside of my journal. And by no means are these pretty at all. But it was a decision nonetheless, which brings me to my first point, to trust the process. Not everything that you make in your journal is going to be pretty, and that's also okay. It's about using the decisions that you made to influence the decisions that you're going to make next. After laying down my circles, I wanted to switch gears a bit and actually lay down some collage on the page across from my circles. After laying them down, I decided I didn't want them touching. I decided to continue collaging by adding in some leaves from a copy of some scrapbook paper that I had on hand. And I decided to add in some torn craft paper to complement the colors of the collage. I felt the page wasn't done yet, so I went ahead and added in some of these light blue shadows underneath the leaves, and then went ahead and outlined them in a black marker. What I was trying to do was not focus necessarily on what I was making, but how I was making it. My goal was to stay constantly moving and focus on letting one idea inspire the next. The outlining of the leaves made me think about adding in some lines to my circles and to add collage on top of it as well. After feeling like I had enough on the page and that the spread was done, I decided to move on. Using paint on the last page inspired me to add some drips across the spread. My next random thought was to blow on the paint to see what happens. After being rather pleased with the result, I decided to do blue on the other side to give it a fire and ice look. Now remember, these were not thought out plans. I started with an empty book and no idea how I wanted to fill it. So I let those marks either inspire me or make those decisions for me. But no matter what, I'm constantly moving throughout the process. There are going to be times during this when you're going to feel stuck, like you don't know what to do next. If that happens, it's okay to go back to basics. Think about shapes or colors or things in nature that inspire you. Best of all, this is a great time to play around with your art supplies. Visual journals are also a great way to express what you're feeling. So if you're ever stuck and you don't know what to do, and you don't know what basics to start with, think about what you're feeling. Think about what color that would look like. I'm going to let you guys watch the rest of the video and the journey and decisions I make along the way. Thank you all so much for joining me today. If you decide to make a visual journal, I would really love to see some of the decisions you made in yours and the process and steps you took to fill your pages. And I'd really like to know how this helped you creatively. When I first started this visual journal, I wasn't feeling very creative, but by the end of it, I actually felt inspired to want to paint again. I even felt like some of these sketches in my visual journal, such as these trees, would make a really cool painting. So let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Thanks again for joining me today. Have a great day, everyone. Bye!